What's up, CATRP crew? We had a bunch of stuff going on, but we realized there's a bunch of little baby mice. Oh, little baby mice. Hi. Here we go. I know this isn't your typical CATRP intro. And look we have baby frogs too. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is.
That little guy right there. Oh, he just jumped. This is a season where we just get a ton of little frogs everywhere around here.
I absolutely
and it's glorious.
love it. Well, the reason I saw this was because there's just like this little mouse just walking across right here. So I was grabbing bins as we prepare to go to a game convention.
Yeah. And Skylar was like, I want some. Oh, here it is. He's right back there. He's moving.
What would you do? Do we get a cat or let them be? They're not in the
cute,
they're not in the
guy.
shed. They're very cute. Look at them.
There's so many.
Mice?
I see 3.
You see 3
What?
right
There's
now?
one back here, there's one right here, and then there's one in that grass that just walked over.
Where are they? I'm blind.
You don't see
Find
it.
them out.
Oh, now he's underneath the
Okay. Well, on this
Anyways,
episode
games.
of CATRP Crew, we're going to be talking about video games. No, we're going to be going through some stuff as we prepare for a game convention that we're going to. Boom. So grab these bins.
Okay.
Because we're gonna load it up with some of our gear for a game convention, but we want to talk about quite a few things.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about the reality of us buying items at game conventions and what that looks like for our business. And we're also going to talk about what it looks like for us on Amazon right now. But before we get to that, we're just going to talk about this collection that just came in.
This is an insane collection. Don't get me wrong.
It's valued at, I think, like around $30,000. We're not gonna throw any names out there or say anything, but
we don't know what to do with this purchase anymore. We haven't paid. Here's the situation.
We have talked with this guy a while. He sent pictures and he was hesitant on shipping it all, but ended up shipping it all out to us. And as you guys can see, we didn't unpack anything. I mean,
there's a couple things of bubble wrap that came off the top.
Yeah, there was some bubble wrap layered on top, but I mean, I was starting to look through the box, but this is pretty much how they arrived. And
they got tossed around and kind of beat up.
I mean, we're probably paying well over 5 figures for this, and Chase Moore made this deal. I was gonna try to make this deal happen because Chase is on vacation, but I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I haven't seen pictures. I don't know what is damaged, what was damaged beforehand.
Yeah, what I know from the pictures, and we're buying it assuming everything. Like, we were paying up for this more than what we typically do.
We were hesitant on making this deal.
Yeah, and
I'll say that. And so,
well,
I just want to share my honest thoughts. We're paying well over 5 figures for this collection. If I look at my personal self, I'm shipping something that's well over 5 figures. I'm going to protect the crap out of it. I'm going to bubble wrap each individual game, or at least every couple games. I'm going to make sure boxes were just in the corner like this. And if you've ever got a package from anywhere,
I'm nervous to see what's down there.
Corners all the time.
This one was, thankfully nothing fell out, but this one was ripped. Sometimes that just happens.
It just baffles me a little bit that it wasn't packed better, because this is a lot. This is a nice used car.
Well, because we want to be able to pay people for what they have.
Yes.
But now this is kind of a situation where...
But this is also it's not very rare anymore where we get people who aren't okay with us paying after the fact that we receive them. But this is why we do this. Mm-hmm. Just because we could be out thousands of dollars if stuff comes in poor condition. And again, everything could be totally as described and everything could be fine. This box is squished. It could have been squished when the deal was made. I don't know. We'll have to check on that.
I would say it's unlikely for that one.
It's unlikely, but if you guys ever want to sell us collections,
it's okay to bubble wrap. We talk about buyless packaging and stuff.
Over package instead of under package.
Right.
It is. We talk about you don't have to bubble wrap each individual disc game, which I would hold to. That's true. When it comes to this,
if you shipped us a collection like this, and you see we're boxing this up, and it's disc-based games. It's in the corner of the box. If this comes damaged, first off, we don't charge for it. We have replacement cases. This is not a big deal. We do not have replacement cases for Buster Bros on Game Boy. So That's why there's so much of a big difference is if this is in a corner, it gets punctured, it gets damaged. There's no replacing that. We're just out that money.
What would you guys do if it's not as described? Do we pay a little bit less, or do we just kind of, since we're already paying more, is it better just to send it back to the seller?
We have done that before where we just send it back to them and, you know, wash our hands with it, which is fine. It'd be a bummer. This is
great Game Boy
collection. We haven't really received a collection like this. We've received some of it. I mean, there was a complete Sword of Hope in here, which is like a $500 game, which it hurts my heart to see not individually packaged. Like, it should be in its own box, really. But that's
Like,
my shipping
What?
time to schedule a pickup if you hear that.
So what would have saved this? Let's talk about that, because like double boxes, like Alpal just said, if all of them were in like 10.7.4s or 8.6.4s or even like a 14.12.6, it's full up as possible, and then those were boxed in these boxes, that would have solved everything. Like none of them would have been damaged, and you wouldn't have had to use much packaging or any.
Yeah.
either.
2 layers of cardboard are far more valuable than
A layer bubble wrap
layer
on
of
top
bubble
and
wrap.
bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess Matt, we can move on from this. We'll be in the background figuring that out. Can you tell me what's going on with Amazon today? Just kind of what's been going on with Amazon?
Currently, we're having David bag games, and Nolan is getting stacks of games for David 2 bag.
I'm bagging too.
And then they're
And he's
putting...
bagging too.
Oh. He's bagging too, apparently.
He hasn't bagged anything yet, he said.
David's a bag machine.
There are bag
Basically,
machines.
if there's a test that takes a lot of repetition, Brother Dave is very good at just locking in. And then they're bringing them over to me, and then I am listing them. So there's all those games there.
So Alpal, we are going to a convention, as I mentioned. We have to pack a couple things. So first step, extra set of microphone. Well, maybe we'll grab all of these sets of microphones.
Can't forget those.
I don't know. All of these things are great, but the little lightning port piece just always breaks, so that's USB-C. So I have another little workaround, which is this annoying little cable thing. So we'll both be filming a bit, so we'll throw that in one of these tubs. I'm trying to think of what else we need for the game convention.
Well,
Do we want to trade anything?
We need cash. Like, cause we just had a shout out to American Bash. We just had him here at the barn, and he had some stuff for trade because he actually bought some stuff. But I was pretty much just like, honestly, we don't need inventory. I'd rather have the cash because we just have so much stuff to sell. So I'm not really interested because people still reach out, hey, you doing for trades? I'm just like, it's just another thing that we have to sell. And I personally don't think we should, but if you think there's a really cool item that it's hard to sell, we could try to do that. I'm trying to think
it's
of
tough.
if we have. I don't know if we have anything that's like super obscure, because that would be the only thing that I'd be interested. We can walk upstairs because we do have some stuff from a previous or recent collection that has some really unique items that potentially we could try to trade, just because getting the value of it on whatnot can be kind of tough. Like, you know, Dreamcast CIB keyboard might be kind of tough. I don't know.
Or, hey, I mean, we did sell one of these. We did sell one of those at a convention. We had 2 somehow.
And to all of you and Chase, you're welcome. I moved everything that was here so this could finally be displayed. And
so
that needs to be displayed. And we can actually put that there. Look
yeah,
at that.
I do think we should just get rid of these, although they're cool. I think we should just get little separators and put them up here.
I don't know if there's room up there.
Well, we can put them on the ceiling.
That's true. We could put them on the ceiling.
Anyways.
But, you know, I don't know anyone who would want this, but I don't think this would go well and whatnot. So we could grab a couple unique things and see if people want it. I wish this was as expensive as its NTSC counterpart.
But one of the things that we do at game conventions is obviously buy stuff. Alex and I are having this conversation. What should we buy this time around? We typically set aside like between $10,000 and $25,000 for game conventions. We're bringing around 10 this
We're
time.
around 10,000. Obviously, we still have the online avenues for a lot more. If like someone wants us to buy out their booth or brings a big collection for us to buy, we're always ready to buy. But I'm not nervous. I'm not excited. I'm kind of in between because this is the first convention that we're going to that buying isn't really going to be a priority. And that's because, for one, Sky Guy, Brother Dave have started to create better avenues for us to not have to buy. because contrary to popular belief, some of our game convention videos have hurt us on the buying side, because you guys will see us buying things at, 75, 80, 90, even 100% of price charting. But in reality, we are losing money on a lot of the stuff we buy at game conventions.
We're breaking even, especially when you factor in wages and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
we're paid overtime to go to these.
Yes, we're breaking even at best on a lot of things. We wouldn't buy them if it wasn't for video's sake, but we realize it's kind of a not sustainable thing to spend 20 grand on a video that makes nowhere even close to that. So they're doing a great job at making better concepts so we don't have to buy as much, and that's kind of what we're doing this time.
And the other thing is, like, when we're kind of talking about prices, I want to touch on this real quick. Let's say we have, what's a Super Metroid. Let's take this. We can tell that this condition, it has some wear. It definitely has some wear. I would put this maybe below price charting as far as value.
Yeah.
But at a game convention, this will be priced maybe 50% above price charting, even factoring in condition. So when we're getting maybe 20% off sticker, sometimes it's still way over price charting.
Yeah, there's still sometimes where it's like 70% is more than we normally pay, but even if we're paying 70%, it could be 90% of what we'll get. And you guys know, at 90% after fees, we're just losing money on that game. And
we don't want to sound like complainers. That's the reality of buying at game conventions, at least for us.
We've made those choices. We're not ignorant to the fact, like,
and we do get good deals still that are profitable.
We do get, and thankfully, if we didn't have Amazon, we would be out a lot more money, because if you guys have seen like our Mario video, that was only saved by Amazon. If we tried to flip all those on Whatnot, we would have lost significant money, but thanks for the little bit of a premium we can get on Amazon with those titles, we actually made a little bit of money, but we still had to pay up for a lot of titles.
So that's where I'm curious, Alpal, should we try and focus on retro, or should we try and focus on buy list type stuff? Like, we don't need more buy list stuff, but we can find it bountiful even at a game convention. We're like, this isn't the only, like, we keep referencing this stuff and this stuff. Guys, the collections we have coming in soon are...
That's just like, I don't know if retro should be the focus. I mean, it should be stuff that we don't have to process. So I will say, if, like, I don't know, I might pick up a Wii Sports, but if the disc needs cleaned, if it needs case swap, I don't know, I might not pick it up. Retro, we are getting, I mean, there's this in, we have more downstairs that needs to come up. We have that really big collection coming in, so we don't even need that. So honestly, retro might be slower to get out than popular Amazon titles, honestly. Like, that's not normally the case, but we have so much retro that's in here and going to be coming in here. Like, getting the really fast-selling duplicates that we already get on the buy list.
Yeah, that might be the way then.
Might be what we should do, because those are going to be out faster than, because we can only do so much shows. We have those two planned already. We have a big July 7th show that's going to come up, but Amazon is always happening. Yeah. Amazon is always happening. Those games are always going out, versus these have to be scheduled shows that only happen, every week or so.
So with that in mind, to answer a question that we get sometimes, what games do you try and have in stock at all times? Which is an interesting question, one I don't think we've ever really thought a great deal about. Like, obviously we have our biggest titles that people send us because we can pay pretty much 100% of price charting on, or sometimes more, certainly more than what you can get on eBay after fees. That's the stuff like Mario Kart, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, New Super Mario Bros, and of course Wii Sports Resort, and even Wii Play.
Yeah, we play, and it's not just that, it's like, Minecraft.
Oh yeah, Minecraft, Call of Duty.
A lot of the Just Dances, Call of Duties, a lot of stuff like that we can pay around what people would get on.
Yeah, we don't really target specific titles necessarily just for the sake of having them in stock. I mean, Matt knows all too well, there's like random stocking issues that Amazon is always having and always experimenting with, where we have a whole shelf of games we can't send in anymore.
Yeah, that has been something that really kind of hurt us recently, is that Amazon just decided, oh, you can't send out these games. Like
these are some of the titles.
Call of Duty, or Men 15, Connect Sports, Tomb Raider, which I found out we're losing money on those. World at War, just So that is like, so stuff that's like not super fast selling, like for
Whose
Wii
idea was
Sports,
that?
That's,
We'll blame Nolan. Anyways.
yep. For like stuff like the really fast selling stuff, we know that that stuff is just so liquid it's gonna be fine. But even Pokemon, we've had to put on the back shelf here.
Yeah,
because
like
we couldn't list it.
Pokemon Black 2, like that's a very expensive game, like off and on Amazon, like
Yeah.
regardless. And when we have those that are always coming in, because we've essentially already agreed to pay a seller for those games, we have to buy them. And now,
thankfully-
like, we just couldn't sell them because the listing was broken.
Right, and thankfully, at least for the Pokemon, we were able to sell a lot of those on Whatnot. And we made less than we would have on Amazon, but you know that's.
I think
that's
like we
cash
still made
instant.
a few bucks. Like it was close to break even, but like
On
we
some
still
games it was
made
break even.
money.
We still made money on some. We wouldn't like to do that all the time, but since you know a lot of Pokemon games are sitting, not being able to list, we're like, all right, let's get our money back quick, put it in something else.
Yeah, because that's one of the ways that we've stayed diversified in this business is always having that out on Whatnot. So lesson for everybody watching, if you're reselling, try and have an out for the things that you are buying, where if you are buying an Xbox and there is heavy risk in selling this Xbox at a break even or like close to it, have a potential out. Just be like, okay, I know I'm gonna sell this on Marketplace for 50 or 60 bucks instead to hopefully make my money back, whatever it might be. Those aren't good numbers or the best example, but I think you understand the principle of what I'm saying. That's something that we always try to do. At worst case, can we break even after fees? Because with that mentality, your business is never going to lose money. It's unfortunate that money is on hold, but you will at least get it back to where you can then reinvest in more product. And then I'm looking at the shelf. One thing that I do want to try and target, Alpal, is what are some replenishable buy it nows that we can use for Whatnot to kind of spruce things up, to kind of give the buy it now section a facelift. But not only that, what are things that fit that, but we could also sell individually if we have to. I mean, you guys have seen the shelf. I mean, here's just, we can only sell so many of these via buy it now, but if we sell this on auction, it might not do well if we're running them back to back to back to back to back. So things that still have high demand, like that's where the mounts have been really nice, the mounts that Matt makes. He's over there, he says hi. And we can even look at those. That's where staying diversified in the products that we have to offer or we're manufacturing ourselves, like right now. That's
That's a good point. I would like to, like, there's a lot of good like promotional stuff, Pokemon type stuff that does well for us on Whatnot. I'd be interested in asking vendors that have some, if it's something that they can get consistently.
Yeah, like one of the things that, like similar to Matt, like creating and doing all of these mounts and stands, I'm selling like model Pokeballs. I'm printing those at home, building them, and everybody's buying them on Whatnot. So it's like, okay, do we increase the quantities on those because it's a high demand? I mean, who doesn't like Pokemon, right? Versus like these, I think will continue to trickle out as people need them. I want to also lean into, not, when I say this word, I don't mean food, consumable. What are some consumable products that we can offer, or products that like have a limited lifespan, not intentionally, but products that just like you use up that can be repurchased? That's a trend we're seeing on Whatnot currently, is people that are offering like certain food type items even. Like, I'm not saying we're gonna get into, well, actually maybe we get the CATRP snacks channel that we've always wanted. We start selling snacks. I
mean, people need to eat, you know?
Yeah, just like little things like that, because I look at our N64 controllers from XYAB, shout out to our channel sponsor. You can get $10 off your first order of $100, no, $50 off your first $100 order or more. See, sounds even better now. We absolutely love XYB. They give us stuff like all of these controllers. This is what we're selling on Whatnot. These are their Proto 64 controllers. These things are absolutely fantastic. I love the boxes that these ones come in. You can get them like with and without boxes, depending on your style of store or how you want to do it. They have so many more things. I mean, we always show that wall because it's just full of XYAB products. I mean, even up here is just tons of XYAB products, including, hey, look at that, PS2 memory cards. we love XYAB. If you have not yet, please go over there. But my point is,
I actually like, I mean, we see some like clothing sellers and other sellers that sell food products, and honestly, food is more directly related to our genre than clothing.
I would agree, because
are-
gamers love their snacks.
Right.
I mean, I eat Doritos and just instantly touch my controllers and keyboard, and oh, it's lovely. I'm just teasing, of course.
Hey, but if you want to do that, that's
By-
fine.
by all
Just grind me up your controller and then throw it away. Don't send it to us.
Yes, please. What I wanted to talk about was with how it relates to this is somebody who wants an N64 controller will buy one of these high quality XYAB ones and never need another one from us for a long time. Maybe they'll want every color, you know, to complete like a fun set or something, or maybe they'll want 4. They'll pick out their 4 favorite colors so they have 4 to play with, friends, family, whatever. Those are things that you don't need to replace. Whereas something like this, where I would put this in kind of the good category, as you're buying more and more NES games and you want to protect them, people might be buying more and more cases. But something like a hat, that's a one-time purchase. It's not a bad thing to have one-time purchases, but we want repeat buyers. Like, really, that's what helps the business grow. We can only get so many new buyers per Whatnot auction. I think maybe every auction, around 20 to 30% of all buyers are first-time buyers. Somewhere in there. I know
At least in the big shows.
at least in our big shows. Maybe on a normal show, maybe it's
probably
between
less,
10 and
yeah.
20%. We haven't done the numbers on that in a while. Or items purchased per customer is still like 2.3, which means people are on average buying 2 or more items from us, which is fantastic. Obviously, it's going to skew because you have some people that are going to be purchasing 50 to 80 items in one auction from us where we're doing fast-paced stuff. And we have people that are going to do a one-time purchase and never show back up again. I still think it's great that we have that average, and we've been doing this long enough to where that average is really sound and true because we have a large sample size. But we just always want to be oh man, look at him.
Sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah, I know, I would too. Yeah, oof, we need more
Beautiful
Brother Dave in these
smile.
videos.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll just cut in B-roll of Brother Dave in the next videos, just not related at all.
B-roll of Brother Dave right here.
Yeah. But we talk about always wanting to stay kind of cutting edge when it comes to what we have to offer. And we want to always call our practices into question, reinvent ourselves when it comes to stuff like products and what exactly we have to offer. A good example of this is Harry Tornado, actually, recently, if you guys are familiar with the channel. He's great, awesome channel. I'm sure you're familiar with him if you're in the realm of reselling. But on his Whatnots, he sells stuff like soaps and chapsticks, which was really interesting to me. And then we heard kind of the business reason behind it, and it checks out. The same reason any retailer would have stuff like candy or snacks kind of by checkout. It's something where, one, like soap and chapstick, they have great utility. It's not it's a consumable, but it's not like a consumable. So that's kind of what I was getting at. Like, what is something that can be used but has a finite lifespan? Like, those are good things for any business to have, right? Like,
I agree.
Like, we have these Better Pack tape machines. I think they sell tape. I don't know if they do. We don't buy it from them, but the tape is their usable, their utility consumable but replenishable item, like any American Bubble Boy. They don't just sell bubble wrap, they sell a bunch of other stuff. The Boxery or Supply Hut with boxes, they don't just sell boxes, they sell other stuff, but all these are examples of things that have utility but are consumable in a sense. So we're trying to figure out what that is for our business. If you have thoughts or ideas, let us know, because this is kind of a realm of full-on product creation even, because you can easily get into the what is it called, white labeling, or something. You could get into that realm, but I don't know if that's the route we want to go, at least right now, because we have so many other things going on with the buy list. I don't think that's something we want to do right now, especially keeping the team in the space that we have right now. Rinzi, for instance, they sell popcorn. We talked about them in a couple videos ago, maybe. What a cool thing.
Yeah.
But do we want to house and keep popcorn here? I don't know. You guys saw the mice just a little bit ago. What are your thoughts, Alpal?
No, I like it. Actually, I was going to say,
We could sell canned air.
I'm definitely willing to try it out for the single reason that bulk buy it nows are easy. We buy it in bulk, we list it in the buy it now, and it sits. When it sells, we ship it off. It's not like a huge time waste that we have to do. Like
This is the same reason why multiple listings on eBay would be good. If you don't do
Yes.
Whatnot, eBay, same principle.
Like this is the only reason we were willing to take the risk. This guy, it's funny enough, this guy actually reached out and he had more, and I was like, actually, probably not, because these, I mean, we had to do like 50% off flash sales to get them sold. But I'm not upset about the risk that we took buying them, because it was, we just listened to buy it now. It was a set it forget it thing. We would push it in shows, but it wasn't a huge time thing for us. So if you have any bulk items that you can get for cheap and willing to pass on the deal to us to do something like that,
Yeah, we'd be interested.
we'd totally be interested. I'm always interested in, we're getting more and more bulk things that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll take it in bulk. Because you guys see, like, the duplicate method is not just Amazon, it's anything we can get. Like there's people for Whatnot inventory.
Let's go back to that shelf again.
I'll give one example actually over here on the Whatnot shelf that I did not too long ago with actually another seller from Venezuela. Weird enough, yeah, I know. But it was a deal for these.
Oh yeah.
Best of PlayStation Network. So they're not like super fast selling. You know, we didn't pay extremely cheap for them, but it was still a good deal, and I was willing to make it because it's really just here. You grab one, you sell it. You grab one, you sell it. We could, you know, grab a stack of 5 and have a starting price of. I mean, this is pretty. It's like $100 game, but
Okay, here's the analogy that I'm building, or the consistent pattern I'm recognizing. Why do people buy from card sellers? Like on Whatnot or all the other apps that there are now, they're doing the same pack over and over and over and over and over and over, or the same box over and over and over and over and over again, because, well, one, on the sourcing end, for them, it's easy. From the buyer's end, you know what you're gonna get every time. It's just a matter of if you get it. And on the selling end, you are shipping the same thing and trying to push and sell the same thing over and over and over again. So that's why you see in the video game realm, you see like case openings where, like, sometimes, like, on the market within the last like year, there've been lots of like PS2 and PS3 cases, or even like Switch. There's lots of sellers that will get a case of Switch games, run them boom, 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 one after the other. The margins confuse me sometimes, but that's where the speed of it makes up for it. So if we were to sell all of these, where we started them off a little bit above our buy cost.
yeah, like we would know we could sell these so much quicker than we could sell all these, because we would have to know the price of all these, make sure we're doing well on them, versus these. It's like, I know what this is worth. Let's just run them all. If it gets a bid or whatever, we know.
Yeah, so I'm going to be just looking at game conventions, because I think there's lots of convention booth like operators or vendors that do this really well, where it's typically not the video game vendors, it's the people that have stores or the people that are selling like other like trinkets or this like replenishable, consumable mindset. If there's a better word for this, please let me know. I don't know what it is. I want to see what's working for other people and apply it to our business, especially as we look to expand Whatnot and all of that, right, Al Pal?
Yes, I don't think we have it all put together. I think we have lots of room
our business
to grow.
isn't perfect, and it won't ever be perfect.
No.
There's always more we can do. There's always less we can do.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, you guys see here, like, we're not perfect. I mean, we have more inventory than we should have. We're always trying to figure that out, but, you know, we understand that. It's hard to say no, and I don't know. This is a tricky one, because now we have a much better model than we used to, because at least we are getting all the highest dollar items out.
See what that says? Whatnot over 50 shelf. This was started because Al Pal found a sealed Pokemon game at the bottom of a bin like this.
And I knew it had probably been there for like 6 months or more.
Yeah.
And I
know
just
exactly
like,
when we got it too.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm done with this. We cannot do this anymore. And obviously there's still some stuff that makes it here, but like, I'm not as upset about this shelf. First off, because now we organize it and it's easy to grab from, we know it's here, but also I know the value here is a lot less to our overall buy cost, because we put so much focus on always making sure we're selling the stuff that we put the most money into. But it is still an issue. We're always looking to how to sell things faster. If you guys have any ideas on how we should do that, or anything that we should put in our buy it nows, let us know. But I think that's going to be about it for this one, Brother Dave.
Buy more games and you'll probably won't feel any better about your life. So maybe stop buying games.
Bye.